Right now, Black doesn't. Black just no need to panic. It's Nihal who has to play instantly.
Yeah, and Wesley could push this pawn up to h5. I mean, White's only idea here is to just, I mean, given the opportunity, White's going to play h5 instantly. And the worst case scenario for Black is where the h file opens and the queen infiltrates h7. Something tells me Wesley's not going to allow that to happen. I think he might be calculating h5, g4. At this point, we're just going to see Nihal throwing the kitchen sink at Wesley on the king side.
That's exactly right. I kind of called it, right, when I was in there. But I thought Nihal was going to play 3 knight c3. I'm shocked he hasn't, by the way.
Yeah, like, I know. That's the one move he hasn't tried, and it's such a rich opening.
Yeah, like knight. Okay, at least don't play both knights, right? Because we know there's some forcing really sharp lines, like in the semi-tirage nowadays. But I'm just so flabbergasted. Like, why play bishop f4? It's really like a one-time thing. It's not something like I played it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to play it once again. So, strange decision-making, but a good learning experience overall. And let's just not forget the match is still not over.
Not over at all.
Wesley still has to win the game or at least draw it.
And I like the way Nihal has handled this game. The pawn sacrifice is unobjective. He is worse here. I think Wesley is maybe 5 or 6 accurate moves away from winning this game. And the first step is to get Wesley low on time. And that's precisely what Nihal is doing. Wesley down to 4 minutes. He drops his king back to h8. And what a tricky move this is. Look at that. If White plays h5, Black can now play bishop takes f6. Remember, this move was impossible because there was a king on g7. This would be a discovered check. Since there's no check, Black plays queen takes f4. And parries hg with the simple fg, and the game is over.
You have to understand, in a position like this, where you have queen, bishop, knight, 2 rooks, a bunch of different pawns, to move the king
it's unbelievably
after you've just moved it once, a king move creates the threat of taking the knight.
Wow. I mean, that is just an exquisite move by Wesley. It boots the knight out of f6.
Rook
back
D1,
it
rook
goes
D8.
to e4. Rook D1, rook D8.
Just swap the rooks. Let's go. It's a very famous bullet technique.
Yep,
take the
trade
rook
all the pieces.
and immediately slide the other one over. And if White has 2 choices, trade all the rooks or slide over. And
Nihal has about 5 miles left in his gas tank, and he needs to drive cross-country. And rook D1, rook D8 takes the air out of the building. And if Wesley can get this into a pawn-up ending, I mean, let's actually also not forget that a draw doesn't lose the match for Nihal. So if it gets into a situation where Nihal has no winning chances, that doesn't mean he should resign. He actually should try to save a draw, and then he will have to pull out 2 wins on demand. But
he's had some, actually, his best positions of this entire match have been with the black pieces.
Exactly. So he does not lose the match with a draw. He shouldn't just give this away. But rook takes d1 and rook d8 puts Wesley on the cusp of winning the CGC.
And one thing I wanted to mention,
and
there it is, rook d1 and rook d8. You, me, and Fabi set history. Did you know that?
Wait, say that again?
Like, you, me, and Fabi, when he was here for a few minutes, we actually made history.
How did we make history?
We were the curliest haired commentary team of all time.
I don't think anybody can even dispute that. Like, second place is somewhere in
I don't even know
the shadows.
Yep, I don't even know where they are.
By the way, look at the king g8. Look at how he's using his king. King g7 to h8 to g8. Triangulation in the middle game.
And the reason that Black is not taking, despite actually occupying this square more than any other on the board, is because there are tactics, right? There's tactics onto this queen. There are tactics on the d file as well. At the end, the bishop could get pinned to the rook. And there's no reason to even get into any of that.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. If you had taken twice, queen d3 would have won the piece. Another accurate move by Wesley.
That was the best move.
That was the best move. It chases the bishop out of f4. Nihal has his back against the wall. If you have to play bishop h2, oh my God, Levy, at that point...
h6 played, he's sacrificing the bishop.
No, but he can just take it, and the knight defends g7, and you can't take the knight because the rook takes on d1 with check. G takes f4 wins the game for Wesley.
Yep. All
G takes f4 is over.
G takes f4, king slides over, and that's it. There's no queen g7. It's a blunder of a bishop, or I don't know, maybe just a failed sacrifice. But we might be looking at the final moves of the Chess.com Global Championship right here.
There we go. Nihal with the final bluff. Wesley does not buy it. G takes f4, and the last gasps for Nihal Sarin. You can just see it on Wesley's face. He knows it. Nihal knows it. The game is over.
Wesley breathes a sigh of relief as he's now just up a bishop. He's not up a pawn anymore.
Zero compensation. On the next move, he's taking that knight off the board immediately. Get out of there. Nihal grabs his head.
Oh, my God.
And it's not just this game that's flying over his mind. It's the entire match.
No, it's the entire match. He did not play like himself the past few days. He's deciding whether to hit the resign button or make a few more moves.
Yeah.
We'll see what he decides.
Well, he's got 30 seconds to make that decision. I think he might throw in a check on g4, hope for a mouse slip. King h8 does get mated.
Yes, king h8 is made in 1.
Yep, he does it. King f8. Instantly, the response by Wesley. Got 2 minutes on the clock. That's over. This is it.
This is it. There is absolutely nothing here. There is nothing here.
Oh, the top engine move is knight takes f5, just giving away an entire rook and then a knight.
Yeah, that's not going to happen as time is ticking. Nihal just thinking what went wrong.
The final seconds of the 2022 CGC, the inaugural edition, happening right now. Okay, he takes on D1, but now it's just a full extra bishop for Wesley.
Yeah, we might get a queen D3 or a queen D5.
Yeah, queen takes C5. I think you can just collect.
Yep. Collect the pawn, defend everything. No back rank checkmate. Wesley enjoying himself. A sigh of relief as he knows that he just won $200,000.
Not quite yet. He's a couple moves away.
Okay.
Queen takes C5, queen D7 is Nihal's idea, by the way.
I don't know. That queen E6.
Okay. Yeah. And Wesley has the luxury of just chilling out. He can take his time.
Yeah, he's up a lot. Let's put it this way.
But 100K is on the line this game. Can you imagine that? In the next couple of moves, he can make
Wesley.
or break.
Not for Wesley.
Not for Wesley, true.
Not for Wesley, but...
wow.
Yeah.
He's taking his time here on queen takes C5. I think he's trying to find a suitable response to queen D7.
He might give a check. He might
E6.
just move his bishop. There are ways to blunder, yes, but even if you hang the bishop, you might still be in good shape, but he's not going to do that.
I think the surgical way is queen E1 check and then queen back to E6 in order to eliminate the H6 pawn with check. And once that pawn's gone, then the king is safe for life.
Yes, queen E1 check. It's a very common technique. I like to call it the boomerang. You go up, you check, and he plays queen D6, also reasonable. He will block the check with the bishop. The king gets some air. You can probably even take on H6.
You can. You're up so many pawns in addition to your extra bishop. I mean, he's also up a pawn at this point.
And the only reason Wesley's not playing moves instantly is because he has 115 on the clock, and he just doesn't want to mess anything up.
Yeah, this is a great lesson for anyone watching. Even the greatest in the world in a completely winning position, they take their time, they slow it down, they make sure that every move counts. And the bishop, I think, is going to swing over to B6. Attacking F2, and then the queen can pile up on F2, and you don't really care about the B7 pawn. You're fine giving it away.
You do not.
But Wesley doesn't.
No, queen B6 on the board. He's gone below a minute, making it mildly exciting. The only thing Wesley So can blunder here is a perpetual check.
Yep.
That is it. And that's even that is fine with him.
And even that is very hard to blunder.
Yes, that is except like blunder.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The headphones are taken off for the last time.